John May, General Manager of Petrale Roofing, up on another customer's roof doing a free 21-point inspection. If you'd like us to take a look at your roof, give us a call today, 719-375-8773. We'd be happy to take a look and see the condition of your roof. Petrale Roofing, we're a Diamond certified TAMCO installer, which means we can offer a industry-leading 25-year workmanship warranty to give you peace of mind in the storm. Call Petrale Roofing, 719-375-8773. Schedule your free inspection today.
Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Rachael and we are continuing to track some rain across the area, and that is causing some concern, especially with regard to flash flooding. I want to start off with a live look from Salida, where we are continuing to keep an eye on a storm that is producing some very heavy rain that just moved through the area. You can clearly see the rain ponding on the road that's just about a half a mile east of Vanderveer Road, and this is an area where we are keeping a close eye because a flash flood warning has been issued. And you'll notice that really over about the last couple of hours, we have continued to watch this band of thunderstorms develop along the mountains, and that's continuing to very slowly slide toward the south. There's a lot of moisture to work with in the high country, and so with these storms that are continuing to pop up, they are producing a lot of heavy rain. So we still have the flash flood warning, which is this more northerly warning, and that warning is still going to stay in effect until 4:15, so for about another 5 minutes. And that is thanks to a storm that moved through earlier this afternoon, right around if I remember correctly, right around about 2 o'clock. And as that storm moved through, it was producing about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch rainfall rates. And obviously that is causing some issues. This is an area where we also saw flash flood warnings yesterday. Now, our newest warned area is going to be this portion of 285. That's just the south and west of Salida. This is an area where we've had some heavy rain as well, and this is our newest flash flood warning that I want to tell you about. This warning is going to stay in effect until 6:45 this evening. And again, the flash flood warning means that flash flooding concerns, a flash flood is either imminent or occurring. So this is right to the south of Poncha Springs. That is an area where we have had anywhere from 0.8 of an inch of rain per hour to a storm that produced up to 1.3 inches of rain per hour. So a very heavy rain producing storm that moved through not too long ago. And that is what we are continuing to track out there right now. So we'll zoom out a little bit so you can get a better idea of where this is. Both of these warnings are in Chaffee County, which is an area where we had warnings yesterday. So this is a spot where we had quite a bit of rain over the last 24 hours, and rain continues. Now you'll notice the heaviest rain now has pushed off just to the southeast of where that warned area is. Of course, rain doesn't need to be falling directly over the area where a flash flood warning is, even if it fell previously. Sometimes there's a lag as to when the flash flooding occurs. So travel in this area, of course, is going to be a bit dangerous here as this heavy rain continues overhead. But again, looks like the heaviest rain now has pushed just off toward the south and east, sliding south of Salida, that area of red suggesting some pretty heavy rainfall rates, kind of right in between Salida and Howard, south of Highway 50. We have another cell that has been producing the potential for small hail along with gusty winds. That's to the south and west of Bonanza, slowly heading its way towards Saguache. So we will have to keep an eye out for that. Saguache, expect for the rain to start picking up in your area. And this is just the southern tier of kind of a long line of storms that is now beginning to impact the Pikes Peak region as well. Teller County starting to see storms moving into the region. We'll take a closer look there along Highway 24. Some light rain just to the west of the Teller County line. We have a cluster of storms that's just to the north of Highway 24 right now. So we'll zoom in on those and give you a closer look, not prompting any warnings as of yet, but these are storms that could potentially slide a little bit farther toward the south. So West Creek, you're likely seeing some of those storms off in the distance. Farther toward the south, south of Highway 24, south of Divide, you're likely seeing some of those clouds building as well with that heavy rain falling just to your south and west. Cripple Creek, likely going to get clipped by some of this rain here over about the next 10 or 15 minutes. So expect rain to be picking up in your area. Great to see the rain, of course. We would like to see it, though, without the severe weather, which is what we have out there right now. Just tracking the potential for flash flooding, which, of course, is very dangerous. The two flash flood warnings that we have, if you are just checking in with me, is the two warnings that we have are right over 285 near Poncha Springs, which is this dark green boundary that you have right there on your screen, kind of in the middle of your screen, and then another warned area that will continue just about for the next minute or so. And that is due to a storm that moved through earlier this afternoon. Heavy rains, though, prompting this newest warned area right around Poncha Springs. So that is an area of concern right along Highway 285 there, just to the south and west of Salida. So those are the only two warnings that I have to tell you about as of right now. No severe thunderstorm warnings, but of course the storms that are popping up in the mountains will continue to show the potential to bring very heavy rainfall rates, along with the potential for some small hail and gusty winds. Everything, at least thus far, has stayed below severe limits. Now, as far as the burn scars are concerned, I will plot those on your radar right now so that you can kind of see where the rain is relative to the burn scar areas. We'll zoom first into the Aspen Acres fire. And no, we have not seen much in the way of rain. Rain has remained well off to the south and west. Unfortunately, what that means for firefighting efforts is storms that are in the vicinity of this burn could prompt some erratic winds to push through the fire area. So that is something that firefighters have been dealing with for the past couple of weeks and will continue to deal with as we head into this weekend. We are still keeping an eye on storms that are near the Willow fire. So we'll zoom in on that. It's gotten a little bit of rain, but nothing that has caused concern with respect to flash flooding, but it is something that we will be worried about here as we head into the remainder of the afternoon. And some of the burns that are in the southwestern corner of the state are also getting in on some rain. In fact, we do have another flood advisory to tell you about, and this is related to the burn that is just to the north of Ouray. So this is another area where we have had some pretty heavy rain out there so far today. And as a result, the National Weather Service has gone ahead and issued that flood advisory, which will stay in effect until 7:30 this evening. And this is going to include the cities of Dexter as well as Cutler Creeks and Highway 550. This is related to the Gold Mountain fire. You'll remember that is just to the north of Ouray. And as you can see, some of those cells pushing overhead, producing pockets of heavy rain. We had rainfall rates that were decent enough where flash flooding and debris flow are a concern. So this area, it's kind of hard to see. I'll have to fix that. But you can kind of see that little green boundary right there, which shows where that flood advisory, different than a flash flood warning, but a flood advisory has been issued. That will be in effect until 7:30 this evening as a cluster of storms continues to move over the area. We will continue tracking these storms as they are expected to stay in the region as we take you through the rest of the afternoon and into this evening. And the reason why is because we are continuing to monitor that plume of monsoonal moisture that is streaming into the western part of the state. The moisture is staying for the most part up across the high country. You can see that by the dew points, which is a measure of moisture in the atmosphere. We've got 40s and 50s over the mountains. Yes, we have 40s and 50s over the eastern plains as well, but the difference is over the plains, you can see that easterly wind streaming in drier air. So that is going to limit the ability for these thunderstorms to develop across the lower elevations, which is why we are focusing our attention in the mountains for that storm development. This is all related to the high pressure area that we have been monitoring all week and where it has set up and where it's going to move to here over the next couple of days. It is continuing to push its way toward the Great Basin, which means it's going to keep the bulk of the moisture streaming into the western part of the state. So that is why we are going to keep storms mostly west of I-25. However, I will say that as we take you into the next couple of hours, if we see strong enough storms produce an outflow boundary, it's not completely out of the question that we could get a stray storm to slide over the Pikes Peak region. So that is something that models are trying to pick up on over the Palmer Divide and up near Denver. So there is the potential for a stray storm. It's not looking great, so I think that will be the exception rather than the rule. The bulk of the activity, of course, will stay over the mountains, with everything really coming to an end as we head into your early Friday morning. So again, we want to talk about just the warnings. I'll give you a look at those one last time before I let you go. And of course, if there are more warnings that get issued, I will highlight those and bring them to you right here on your Peaks to Plains app on all of our platforms. If you do not have your Peaks to Plains app, I highly recommend downloading it. You will get alert if there is danger in your way or in your area, any warnings, watches, advisories, things of that nature. You will be notified as to what is happening, when, and where. So it's a very useful app to have, especially as the weather is expected to get a little bit more active. So again, right around Salida, still tracking quite a bit of rain, and we do have those flash flood warnings that I want to tell you about. The warning that was just to the north, kind of for the Chalk Cliffs area, that was allowed to expire. So now the only warning that I have to tell you about is for that green box. That is going to include Poncha Springs and portions of Highway 285. That will continue this evening as heavy rains are still impacting that part of the area. That warning goes until 6:45 this evening. So again, near Salida, over Poncha Springs, that is where we have our only flash flood warning. A warning, of course, indicates that flash flooding is either happening or is imminent. So that stretch of highway, I don't have any reports as of right now or any videos to pass along to you. But when I do, and if I do, of course, I will get that information to you. But not a great stretch of road as heavy rain continues to push just to the south of where that flash flood warning has been issued. It's part of a line of storms that is starting to creep into Teller County and will continue drifting off to the south. If we get any storms that push over or near the Aspen Acres fire, that will also cause some more concerns with respect to flash flooding. So a little bit of a busy afternoon setting up for us here at Peaks to Plains, but we will keep you ahead of all of these storms and make sure that you are staying up to date on all of the information that we have. Again, only that flash flood warning issued as of right now. Stick with us. I will continue keeping an eye on all of these storms as they develop and move across the area. You have all of the information that you need right on the app. So of course, make sure that you get that downloaded, and we'll keep you updated on all of our platforms as well, because it's our weather together.
I'm Catherine.
And I'm Dewey, here with another water-wise tip.
During summer, do you know why we water up to 3 days a week?
To make the best use of me.
Exactly. It builds deeper, stronger roots and makes your lawn more resilient.
Also, use the cycle and soak method. Try shorter cycles with breaks in between to reduce runoff.
And in spring or fall, you can water 1 or 2 days per week. Be water-wise and your lawn will thrive.
Now that's water-wise. Learn more at csu.org/waterwise.